while I'm sure that a video is probably not typically what you're used to receiving, I did do the index cards on a ring, and then I realized that this is a lot, and so I thought a video would be a much simpler way, at least for me, so to show what I did instead of taking pictures of all of the cards. So yeah, so day late because I didn't think about it, but so chapter 2. So principles of child development and learning and daily teaching practices. Children develop holistically. I put children develop in all areas at the same time. All processes are integrated, which means their learning should be as well. Daily activities and routines should address aesthetic, emotional, cognitive, language, physical, and social development, and teachers should integrate learning across the curriculum. Child development follows an orderly sequence. Development in children emerges in roughly the same order. Initial skills and abilities are needed to be able to grow and mature. Teachers use their knowledge developmental sequence to guide whether children are developing as expected to, determine reasonable expectations, and to plan next steps in the learning process. Children develop at varying rates. Children progress through the same developmental sequences according to their own timetables. Developmental progress is not uniform. Teachers give children opportunities to pursue activities at their own pace, repeat activities more than once so children can participate according to changing needs and abilities, and plan activities with multiple learning objectives to address the needs of more and less advanced learners. Children learn best when they feel safe and secure. Children who feel safe and secure learn more easily than children who are worried, angry, or afraid physically and or emotionally. Teachers develop nurturing relationships with children and remain with them long enough so they can easily identify a specific adult from whom to seek help, comfort, attention, and guidance. And teachers address aggression and bullying calmly, firmly, and progressively. Daily routines are predictable. Changes are explained in advance so children can anticipate their schedule. Early childhood environments comply with all safety requirements. Adults use positive discipline. Children have access to images, objects, and activities that reflect their home. And there's two-way communication between the teacher and families are welcome in the program. Children are active learners. Young children use their whole bodies to learn. They use all their senses to experience and understand the world. Activities, transitions, and routines respect children's attention span, need for activity, and the need for social interaction. Inactive segments of the day are short. Children participate in gross motor activities every day. Children learn through physical experience, social interaction, and reflection. Children have a powerful need to make sense of everything they encounter. They do this through experiencing something, talking about it, and reflecting on their experiences. Adults encourage children to explore and investigate. They pose questions, offer information, and challenge children's thinking. Children have many chances to document and reflect on their ideas. Children learn through mastery and challenge. Young children learn best when they are stimulated and successful in acquiring new knowledge and skills. They love a reasonable challenge and are motivated to learn when frequently mastering challenges. Children that are overwhelmed tend to fail and in turn lack motivation. Practitioners simplify, maintain, or extend activities in response to children's functioning and comprehension. Um, Children's learning profiles vary. Children approach the world and learning in their own unique ways. Each child has a unique profile of how they learn best. They process a combination of 8 intelligences. All children are smart in their own way. Teachers present the same information in more than one modality and through different types of activities. Children have opportunities to play on their own and with others, indoors and outdoors, with natural and manufactured materials. Children learn through play. Play is, play is the fundamental means by which children gather and process information, learn new skills, and practice old ones. While playing, children extend and enhance skills physically, socially, emotionally, linguistically, creatively, and literally. Teachers prepare the environment to support play, provide materials children can use in play, observe how and what children are learning in their play, and interact playfully with children. Play is integrated throughout the entire day and within all aspects of the program. Okay, question 2. Incorporating content, knowledge, and learning standards into early childhood education programs. Subject matter. You need a broad grasp of content knowledge in the arts, language and literacy, mathematics, physical health and development, science, and social studies. Accomplished teachers appreciate how disciplines are created, organized, linked to other disciplines, and applied to real-world settings. You need to be adept at using tools and methods related to each discipline and can help children pose and solve challenging problems that touch one or more subject areas at a time. Children's interests. Content knowledge must be connected to things that interest children and their daily experiences in order for children to find it meaningful. With an infinite amount of knowledge in the world, let your students' questions and curiosities guide content choices. Factor children's interests into each curriculum area as much as possible. Learning standards. Each early learning content and performance standards let you know what you need to teach your students. Choose the most important standards and use them to guide educational goals. Students tell you what to teach, but it is up to you as the teacher to determine how you want to teach. Oh, that's a standard. Sorry. Standards tell you what to teach, but it's up to you as the teacher to determine how you want to teach the material, what programs or curriculums to use, or the timeline in which to teach each individual standard. This is where teachers create the ways in which they will teach children based on his or her students' needs, wants, and interests. Okay. Question 3, developmentally appropriate teaching strategies. sensory engagement. All learning begins with perception, seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, and smelling. Consequently, children learn best through using all of their senses. Children learn best through hands-on experiences, especially firsthand. Provide as much direct contact with real objects, people, places, and events as possible. Environmental cues. Environmental cues signal children about expectations using objects or symbols rather than verbal instructions. So signs with pictures, number of available objects, pictograph or outlines tell children about the world and support objectives related to independence, cooperation, and self-regulation. Task analysis. Task analysis is identifying the sequence of steps to multi-step behaviors used to help children gradually accomplish challenging tasks. Teachers determine the knowledge, skills, and procedures needed to accomplish a goal and then create a logical sequence of small steps children will learn over time. Training and successive approximation. Created by the results of task analysis, both strategies build up tasks little by little to help a child learn a set of complex behaviors. Chaining introduces a series of behaviors at a time. A new step is added when the previous is mastered until completion. Successive approximation shapes behavior by rewarding children for gradually approximating design goals. The whole process is taught and the goal is increased precision. Sorry. Scaffolding. Scaffolding is the process of providing verbal or physical supports and gradually removing those supports. The original task remains the same throughout the process. The child starts by completing a task with maximum support. As the student takes more responsibility for the task, supports are slowly removed until the student is independently successful. Guided practice and repetition. Guided practice is the process of giving children ample opportunities to master a skill through rehearsals, repetition, and gradually elaborating on what the children already know and can do. Practice is most beneficial when conditions vary slightly each practice session. It is essential to deliberately set the stage for practice opportunities. Invitations. Verbal invitations encourage children to participate in activities by creating openings for them to explore materials or to interact with you or other children. Plan a few invitations in advance to gain a better idea on how to motivate children to try various activities. Behavior reflections. Also known as information talk, these are verbal descriptions of children's actions. Reflections are non-judgmental, informative, without being intrusive. They're summarizations. Behavior reflections increase children's self-awareness and understanding by drawing attention to specific aspects of an experience and expose them to situational vocabulary. Paraphrase reflections. Non-evaluative comments or restatements, also known as verbal expansions or active listening. These prompt children to expand, clarify, and refine what they are saying. By varying response words, the children's vocabulary and grammatical structures are broadened. These interactions also show children you are interested and you care, which enhances learning climate. Modeling and demonstrating. Children learn best by imitating others. Models have greatest impact when behaviors are obvious to children. Modeling can be used when teaching new or appropriate behaviors. Behaviors need to be pointed out. Being able to interact with the model is a plus. Effective praise. The wrong praise could potentially lower a child's self-confidence, getting in the way of their achievement. Avoid general, repetitive, and non-genuine praise. Effective praise is specific, acknowledges, oh my gosh, is specific, acknowledges children's actions, and compares their progress with their past performance. It links their success to efforts and ability and is individualized to fit the child and the situation and is non-intrusive. Telling, explaining, and informing. Reciting facts, providing extra information for deeper understanding, and explaining or clarifying information to further student learning. To support children's learning, information is tied to children's experiences and requires involvement that goes beyond simply listening. Do it signals. Simple directions that begin with a verb and prompt children to do something. Following the do it direction allows the teacher to see what the children understand and what they don't understand. They need to be short, positive statements that are clear. The teacher should provide additional information or experiences as appropriate. Questions. Effective questions are purposeful, thought-provoking, clear, and brief. Questions should gain children's attention and help them learn. Closed questions do not require critical thinking, while open questions do. Open questions can help enhance children's abilities to observe, reconstruct previous experience, predict, evaluate, reason, make decisions, communicate ideas, and much more. Silence. Silence can support student learning when it is oh my gosh, coupled with attentive observation of children and the content in which they are functioning. Allow students at least 3 to 5 seconds to process and respond and get in the habit of wait time. Teachers should stay silent when students are deeply engaged in communication with one another. Silence in the situation is seen as a signal of respect. Final question. Integrating and applying knowledge about children, content, and effective teaching strategies in daily teaching. The cycle of learning. This is the process where children move from initial awareness of something to gaining new knowledge and skills that they apply effectively on their own. Consists of 5 phases: awareness, exploration, acquisition, practice, and generalization. Awareness. First step in learning, children notice, practice, and respond to new stimuli. Teachers use sensory engagement, environmental cues, invitations, and modeling and demonstrations to mediate awareness and opportunities for children to experience a variety of events, objects, and people. Exploration. The second step of learning. Children observe, touch, smell, taste, hear, examine, talk about, ask questions, collect information, and make discoveries, revise old ideas, and construct new meanings. Their knowledge grows as they organize and recognize information gained through experience. Teachers use sensory engagement, environmental cues, invitations, behavior, and paraphrase reflections, and silence to facilitate plenty of time and opportunities to experiment with and explore new things before asking children to use things in a prescribed way. Acquisition. The third step in learning, children carry out an action, adopt new skills, apply new knowledge, and extend understanding. Children display signs, usually through questioning, when they are ready for this phase. Teachers use all effective teaching strategies to help children refine their understanding, guide children's attention, and help children make new connections. Teachers offer support as needed or desired. Practice. Fourth step of learning. Children rehearse, repeat, adopt, revise, elaborate, and gain mastery by repeatedly practicing new behaviors or knowledges in a variety of circumstances. Teachers facilitate practice by providing ample time to play out scenarios using all effective teaching strategies. Generalization. The final stage of learning. Children transfer learning from one situation to another, gain new awarenesses that prompts re-entry into the learning cycle. Teachers promote generalization by providing meaningful opportunities to apply what they have learned in a variety of ways and new circumstances. Teachers should keep in mind that students will progress through the learning cycle phases and will need to accommodate differences by planning and teaching flexibly enough to address all strategies of learning. This is done by providing broad-based, open-ended activities. Timing of instruction. Teachers support children progress through the cycle of learning by carefully observing the knowledge and skills which children bring to and demonstrate within each activity. Then, beginning where children are developmentally, teachers provide necessary support. Teaching in the zone of proximal development. The zone of proximal development is the difference between what children can do independently and what they need support with. So children learn best when mastery is just out of reach. This is the zone. The zone is where children are likely to be successful and stimulated, which is when learning flourishes. That's my works cited, which is just the book. So, sorry that was a lot longer than I thought, but I didn't know how to accurately depict all of that without taking forever to do pictures. So, sorry, but thank you.